Good afternoon, everyone. Today's date is Monday, March 23rd, 2026, and we have a couple topics to discuss. The first topic we're going to talk about is the severe weather risk over portions of the mid-Mississippi Valley and Ohio Valley for Thursday, March 26th. After that, we'll talk about the overall pattern across the U.S. for the next week. For Thursday, we have a level 2 out of 5 slight risk starting into north central Missouri, going into extreme southeastern Iowa, into central Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, and southeastern Michigan. So first starting out with the GFS weather model, storms look like they'll start to initiate and develop around maybe 4 or 5 p.m. Central Daylight Time on Thursday. And so they'll continue to strengthen throughout the evening and probably reach their peak intensity in the late evening hours towards maybe 9 or 10 p.m. Central Daylight Time. The main threat with these storms should be large hail, but still we'll have to get a little bit closer to this event so we can see further into a potential tornado risk and especially the damaging wind risk with this storm system. So as we go into early Friday morning, those storms will continue to kind of move southward and they should remain somewhat intense, at least strong to severe as they move southward and start to weaken a little bit more as we get into the early morning hours on Friday, and those continue to push southward. Dew points on the GFS weather model show into Illinois and Indiana around the lower 60 to mid 60 range. So there'll be plenty of moisture in this area, especially with the moisture being pushed farther to the north throughout the afternoon and evening hours into these areas. And that will certainly help to fuel these storms. The European weather model is pretty similar as well, showing a large plume of dew points into the lower 60s into Illinois, Indiana, even into portions of Kentucky, Missouri, and southeast Iowa. There probably won't be a whole lot of instability as far as cape levels go, but strong lower and mid-level shear will actually help to kind of make up for the lack of instability, and these storms will still be pretty strong to severe at times. Finally, just taking a quick look at the O6Z European. So this is 2 p.m. or actually 1 p.m. Central Daylight Time on Thursday. Then as we go to about 8 p.m. Central Daylight Time, you see these pretty large clusters of storms beginning to kind of develop up along Detroit, north of Indianapolis, and north of Springfield as well. And once again, the European has the same idea. These storms will continue to push southward well into the overnight hours and early into Friday. Finally, taking a look at the overall pattern for the next week. So starting off with today on Monday, you see we still have some snow lingering here into the northeast, kind of some backside snow moving into Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, into upstate New York as well. And so as we go over the next few days, we get into tomorrow, go into Wednesday, and we finally see some more snow kind of near really northern Minnesota, northern Wisconsin, even into northern Michigan as we go to early Wednesday morning. And so we go into Thursday, you could see some snow up here into Maine for sure, definitely into northern Vermont, northern New Hampshire. And then as we go further into really Thursday with our main system we were talking about, this will move through, deliver some rain and storms across the Ohio Valley, mid-Mississippi Valley, and then that'll push south and deliver some rain across portions of the mid-Atlantic and southeast. And after this system moves out, we're going to enter a kind of a quiet period over the weekend. Things will be a little bit below average as far as temperatures go in the northeast. And then as we get into early next week, we may have to start watching another system potentially move in early next week across the central U.S. And I think we could maybe see another severe weather threat maybe somewhere across the central U.S. potentially early next week. So we'll continue to watch that. But overall, after we have this initial system that moves in on Thursday, things will be pretty quiet over the weekend. Finally, to end off the video, we'll take a quick look at ridging and troughing across the U.S. So in the kind of bluish to purple colors, that is troughing, the red is ridging, and that indicates high pressure in the red and lower pressure in the blues and kind of purples. So as we go into Monday, Tuesday, we have this pretty strong ridge that remains across much of the western U.S. This will once again pretty much keep these above average temperatures over much of this part of the country, with just a little bit below average temperatures as we get to kind of Thursday and Friday in the northeast. Then finally, really by this weekend, we could see some well below average temperatures into the extreme northeast, while above average temperatures continue to dominate much of the central and western U.S. Then as we get into early next week, as we just talked about just a little bit ago, we see that red kind of start to fade just a little bit, and we have a little bit of a signal of troughing and this could indicate our system next week across portions of the central U.S. We'll continue to watch that and see how that plays out. But overall, things kind of remain pretty quiet as we get into this weekend, and they will probably pick back up early next week. So that'll be it for today's update. I appreciate all of y'all tuning in, and I hope y'all have a great Monday.